I joined the CSU project in June of 2011. Around that time I had been looking into joining a running club because I was starting to get more serious about my running, and it was at a 5K in Plastow, New Hampshire that I noticed Matt Germain. He was warming up wearing the CSU singlet, and I knew Matt from Whirlaway, and I'd bought some shoes from him and talked over races and things with him. So I noticed that he ran for that team, and I was really surprised. I didn't know that before. And that night I had sent him an email wanting to know more about the team, and it basically just kind of evolved from there. Positivity. That's something that I've struggled with my whole life, is trying to not be so negative about the things that happen and about myself. And the people on the CSU project are just so self-assured and confident in themselves, and it's such a refreshing thing to see, because that kind of personality trait rubs off on me, I hope, and I want to be more like them. So I've made changes to my life to kind of be more positive, be more confident in myself, and just have a better outlook on things than I have, especially in recent years. I knew that they were very supportive of each other as a group, and that was something that I was really looking for in my life at the time, was a support network. I was also really attracted to the fact that they live healthy lifestyles. They're very conscious about what food they put into their bodies, what they do in their free time. Since joining the CSU project, I've always been pretty conscious of the things that I eat and the way that I act, but since joining the CSU project, I've gotten a lot better about it. I was never really into the college party scene while I was at school, but even so, I have the urge to drink alcohol way less than I used to. I don't really feel like it's necessary. And I've also incorporated a lot more healthy foods into my diet. Some pretty awful things happened in high school that I'm still dealing with the after effects of. I was in an abusive relationship in high school, and there was a lot of things that went on around that time that made me have serious doubts about myself. I wasn't doing as well in school anymore, and that's kind of still carried over to my college experience. I wasn't doing well in school at Tufts University, where I was, and so the administration decided that I needed to take a semester off, and although I appealed the decision, they upheld it. And so all of 2011 was basically me trying to recoup from that, to find confidence in myself again, that I could go to school and be successful there. And it's no coincidence that I joined CSU when I did, because right around the time that I joined CSU was when I first started taking classes again, part-time. And since then I've done better and better. Right after I was forced to take time off from Tufts, I signed up for my first half marathon, and that race represented the first thing that I really had to stick with it and train for it. I have trouble being disciplined sometimes, and I still didn't do a perfect job of training for it, but I did a lot better than I ever had before. And so I was kind of starting to get the hang of things, but ever since joining the CSU project, my discipline as a runner has dramatically gotten better. Now I feel more accountable, not just because I have teammates who will ask, oh, well, how'd your run go on this day or whatnot, but also because I feel more accountable to myself than I did before. And I've gotten so much better ability-wise as a runner since joining the CSU project. Since meeting CSU, I think my best moment happened at the Philadelphia Marathon in November. Just going down there with John, Matt, and Caitlin, and just kind of sharing the experience with them. It was really, really special to me. There's nothing quite like the moment of crossing the finish line in my first marathon. You know, before the marathon, I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna do this at the end, and I totally did. It was just so emotional. I didn't really, I can't really describe it in words, but all I do know is that I couldn't have gotten there without my teammates' support. Whether it was waiting around after they were done with their long runs for me to finish mine and tell me that I did a good job, and they kept reassuring me before the race that it was going to all be fine. And so that whole experience cumulatively with them was just, it's so special, and nothing will ever match what I felt. From the Kacey project, I've learned that life can be a lot better than what it was for me before. At the beginning of last year, I was in a really tough place emotionally. I wasn't really doing a lot of things. I was really down on myself. I didn't really see what was going to happen in the future. It was really hard for me because everything had been changed for me. So I've just learned that, life is just better if you're positive, if you look at the bright side of things, and it's no coincidence that when you do that, things actually do end up turning out not so bad. I've accomplished so many goals this year. The end of the year and the beginning of the year couldn't have been more different. But I've learned that I have a lot of potential. And especially since everything happened at school, that's been hard for me to believe, but I'm getting closer and closer every day, and I have Kacey to thank for that.